Alright guys, welcome aboard. Got a fun little flight we're going to be doing today, a little bit different. We're going to be taking off from Flagstaff, Arizona in the 737 Zibo 800 Southwest livery. And we're going to be heading to, I don't know where. Where should we head to? I'm looking at the weather map and I'm looking for some weather. So I think we'll just go back to John Wayne Airport, Orange County. That should make for a nice little flight there. There's some weather at least popping up on my radar here, and between right around the Flagstaff area. So we'll see what we get. I see some clouds up there, but maybe when we get up in the air, we'll see a little bit more of it. So let's jump in the plane here, get fired up. We got ground power, so let's go ahead and connect that up. Get our lights on here on all of our panels. Always the first thing I like to do, make sure my lights are up. Main panel, yep, that's the one. Alright. Alright, we got ground power. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at our fuel. Yeah, we got plenty of fuel for the flight. No fuel in the center tank, so let's go ahead, turn our one fuel pump on, and we'll get our APU fired up. There we go. We'll put our beacon on and our nav lights. And let's see, what do I want to do? Make sure my volumes are all up. Alright, we'll get our IRSs aligned. Let's come back down to here. Let's see what we got for a departure. Actually, first we'll start our loading. So, boarding, start. Then we will go back to our menu, go to the FMC. We gotta do our position here. Let's clear out all of that. Pop over here, go over one page, grab the GPS. Go back, drop that in there, and then we're going to go route, and we are at KF.
All right, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring.
Forgot what Flagstaff was. Let's see. That's Prescott. Here we go. FLG. So KFLG. Pop that in there. We're going to be going to KSNA, Santa Ana, over in Orange County. Alright, performance, we're just going to take our defaults here. Reserves, we should have about 10, I'm guessing. Cost index, I don't really play around with that. I always just put some generic number in there. Flight level, 397. No, we're not going to be going up that high. We're going to go 340. That should get us above any of the storms in the direction, and actually are heading in our direction. Let me clear this out. It's pretty hot over here in the southwest, so I'm going to do a +5 for a deviation. Let's see, I think it did -5. Yep, I had minus, sorry. Clear that out. Just the 5. There we go, +5. That's better. Execute that, go over to our limits. We'll grab our outside air temperature here. Not going to derate or anything, we're kind of high up, so we're going to keep full power. Taking off out of Flagstaff, we'll do 5 flaps. Click our CG here. Let's get our trim setting. Go ahead and set that 4.4. That's right about where we're at. We'll take these V-speeds, 134, we'll take note of that. Alright, departing out of here, we're going to be taking off, let's see, heading that way, that's going to be runway 21. So we're going to be taking off runway 21. Route, actually, we're just going to go grab our arrival into Santa Ana, Kiefer, And let's see what else we got. Jolar. We'll take a look at that. Needles, EED I think is needles. I always do the Jolar. Let's do that. And we're going to be doing the RNAV to 20 right. Alright, then we come here. We'll activate that. We'll execute that. Let's take a look at the actual legs. We're going to take off from the runway, head right for Jolar. Pretty much. That's pretty much what we're going to do. Let's step through it just to see where Jolar is, just to make sure I'm not screwing this up. So we'll pop out right about there. And let's step through. There's a discontinuity. We'll get rid of that. Jolar, Memphis, Sebum, Hipple, Palm Springs, Bands. And then we got a little bit of weight. We got a vector there, so let's get rid of that vector. Vector. And let's go back up to, we'll go direct Jolar. Alright, and let's step through that again. Execute that. Alright, so Jolar. Right. We got 14,000. Kiefer. What's that? J-word. Then we turn out this way. And then into there. You know what? I think I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm going to get rid of Jolar, or J-word. Right? So let's take that one, go back there, replace that, execute that. That should give us a little bit more of a direct route. So let's see where we go from there. So from Palm Springs over to there, Bands, Kiefer, then we turn on out. That's better. Yeah, we'll see how that one works out. Okay, that looks good. Let's go back up here, go off of the plan. We'll leave it at 20. And we're going to set this, what was it, 143 I think was the speed. So we'll just do, we'll do 140, 150. Altitude, what did we say? We said 340, so we're going to go right up to 340. There we go. While we're setting altitudes, we'll set the altitude here for 340. That's our cabin pressurization. A little bit too far. 50 feet. That's good for arrival into John Wayne. Let me get settled here. Get my cables undone. Okay, so we do have our APU is fired up. Let's go to APU power. We'll turn our APU bleed on. Start getting some AC blowing here. All right, let's get everything else set up over here. Yaw dampeners on. We'll get the remaining fuel pumps on. We never set that. That's what we didn't do. Dumbass. Sorry about that. We'll get our emergency lights on. We'll go to APU gen. And we'll get our cabin utilities on. Alright, power is set, lights are set. We'll get our smoking and seatbelt signs on. We'll go ahead and turn our cabin, our window heat on. Pitot heat will also turn on right now, what the heck. Get our electrical hydraulics on. Trim air on, and bleed is already set, and our pressurization is already set. So we're ready to push back right now. We're all set in here. Everything is set up here. We'll go ahead and turn on our flight director, auto throttle armed, and our right flight director on. And let's go ahead and see how we're going to be pushing back here. So we're kind of in a little weird spot here. So let's see. We're actually going to have him push us out all the way to here. There we go. That'll take us right to where we want to go.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Alright, we are ready. I'll call him now.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Alright, while he's driving up, I'm going to go take a look at our sound settings really quick. Make sure everything's up. Interior, I'm going to turn that up. Environmentals, otherwise we're good. There we go. Might hear that a little bit better now. And here comes our tug coming out of the admin building. You see some clouds popping up over there. Hopefully the weather's gonna pop in here. Is that welcome air? Alright, we're going to go ahead, hit our VNav and LNav here, make sure that they engage.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
And parking brake is set. Looks like he's getting ready to jack us up. Look outside here. He looks like he's connecting us up.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Alright, parking brake off.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Alright, let's go ahead and get our packs off. And we'll start number 2. Waiting for our N2 to spool up to about 18, and then we'll introduce fuel. There it is, fuel on. And I have a key for that. That's actually this right here. So there's the fuel for number 1 and number 2. I have a key that brings it up to on position or idle position, whatever you want to call it. Alright, let's go ahead and get number 1 fired up. Introducing fuel. Tower view here. Block all the traffic. Yeah, just went right underneath us. So it looks like we got, at least real world, we have altimeter setting of 3040, quite high. Let's go ahead and set that. Not what I wanted to do.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
There we go, 3040. Let's do the same over
Disconnecting
here.
tow. Stand by.
Alright, engines are on. Let's go to engine power. Turn our engine bleeds on. APU bleed off. Turn our packs back on. Let him disconnect. And we'll shut down our APU. Alright. I think we're all set up here. Yep.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Alright, got our taxi light on. We'll wait for him to pull away and then we'll taxi on out for departure here. We'll do auto braking RTO. At this time we'll do flaps 5. Brake off. Power up and get to the end of the runway here. See the windsock there. We got a nice headwind going pretty much right down the runway here, which is good for this high altitude airport. You can see we're in 7,000 feet. And if I take a look at the airport diagram, we can confirm that the field elevation, at least at the end of the runway here, is 6,996 feet. I'm going to add a few knots to this. We're going to go 160. Alright, coming up to the end of the runway here, let's go ahead and slow ourselves down a little bit. We'll put our transponder on. And we'll hit our wing lights. I'll do all that with my keys here. So
Flight attendants first takeoff, please.
there we go. Do landing lights on.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Approaching 2-1.
Try to use as much of the runway as we can. The runway here is, I think, just over 8,000 feet, maybe just short of 9,000 feet, so plenty of runway for us, but it is high altitude airport, so we want to use every single inch we got.
On runway 2-1.
Alright, we'll power up to about 40%. Let the engine stabilize. And we will hit our toga button. And airspeed is live.
80 knots.
Comes V1.
V1, rotate.
Rotating.
Positive rate.
Gear up. Departure out of here. We'll make a slight turn here.
1,000.
And get on our course. Flaps up to position 2. And let's go ahead and hit our weather radar here too. We're going to go hit the autopilot. Let it take over here. Gear handle to off. Just hit that again. Auto braking to off. There's 200 knots, we'll go flaps up. We should get a real nice view of the Grand Canyon. Sorry for the noise there, we should get a real nice view of the Grand Canyon. We'll be kind of flying right over the top of it, I think. Some of that cloud cover I told you about. See if it builds up. Some pretty good returns on the real world weather. There's 10,000 feet. Let's go landing lights off. Let's see what else I got turned on here. You know, I never did my strobes. The strobes on. Heading up to 3,400, or sorry, 34,000. There's a little bit of turbulence there. I'm going to go ahead and turn the sim volume down just so slightly, so we don't go deaf. See what we see out of the Grand Canyon. That's the beginning of it. Let's take a look out here. Oh, you know what? I'm missing some ortho right up ahead here. That's what that little line is now. So this is ortho, and then over here is like default. But I do have the Grand Canyon, so we should see that coming up here. See, yeah, we're pretty much doing a straight shot right over the top of the Grand Canyon.
For own safety, we recommend that you keep your seatbelt loosely fastened in case of any unexpected turbulence. We have an excellent team on board today, and we are all happy to offer you any assistance you may require throughout the flight. Our in-flight entertainment has begun.
All right, we'll go ahead and hit some tunes here. Taking off that high, we hit our 18,000
Altimeter
quick.
setting.
And then go to standard on the altimeters. While we climb out over here, I'm going to grab a fresh bottle of water. Be right back. Actually, I misspoke. We're actually going to be going south of the Grand Canyon. That's Prescott right there. That we're coming up to. So we're kind of going to scoot off to the south side of the Grand Canyon. We'll see if we can see any of it from altitude. Anyway, we'll be right back. guys, back in the cockpit here. Turn this music down just a tad. So, yeah, that's all default scenery right there. That's why I was wondering, because I knew I had scenery for Grand Canyon. Let's take a look out the window here. See what we can see. I think it's off under the clouds there. You can see with this one square that I'm missing. This is ortho right there. And it looks like we're coming up to our altitude. Music always seems very loud to me. Anyway, yeah, the reason I was away for just a second there, I was checking the news because I live in Southern California and we actually have a wildfire pretty much right over our route. So I'm kind of interested to see what we see there. Not that we're going to see any fire or anything in the sim, but it is real world weather, and the fire is causing a lot of buildup of cloud cover just west of Palm Springs area as we get into the Inland Empire, kind of heading towards Orange County. And that's burning right now. If you're watching this recorded, it's July 25th, 2018. So we got a little bit of turbulence here at altitude, just a tad, a light chop. And as I said, you can see the line right over here. This is, everything over here is the default scenery, and then I've got ortho all for the Grand Canyon up to the north here. And you can see where the satellite kind of passed over. It actually took pictures of a few clouds with their shadows here. That's what those little white blotches are. So let's take a look at our cruise speed here, because I know I'm going to bump it up. I usually end up doing that. Let's go over here to cruise, and yeah, we're kind of slow. Mach 0.785. We're going to bump that up to our max. So we're going to go 115 slash, get out there, 115 slash 0.820. Max speed for the airplane here. I know it says insufficient fuel, but we'll bump up some fuel if we have to. Do a in-flight refueling. Alright, and now let's take a look at our progress here, and now that has recalculated for our new speed. Arrival time into Santa Ana, 22:04. So it's 21:19 right now. So about 50 minutes or so, we should be on the ground in Santa Ana. See if we see any buildups when we head for Palm Springs. If we zoom out here on our approach, let's see if we see it. So, zoom in over here. I wish you could pop these out. I hope Zibo does that next. Anyway, so let's see here. So Palm Springs, here's Daggett. Palm Springs is right around here in this area. Kind of mashed up with all this stuff. But, Jolar, right? Yeah, it's Bicycle Lake, Daggett. I think one of these is Palm Springs right over here. Yeah, we're kind of going around about way here to Jolar. I guess we could have picked a more direct right. We're kind of coming into Jolar, and that's Blythe, and then inbound to Southern California. No weather so far, but at least the scenery's starting to improve. Got that Ortho 4XP. Beautiful stuff. Alright, we're at altitude, so let's go ahead and get our strobes off. Just leave our nav lights on. Double check everything else up here. We always had those on auto, the starters. And everything else looks good. Oh, you know what? I always forget to do that. We'll go to Gen 1 here. Alright, looking good. And we got some decent scenery to look at here. Sorry, I'm not going to get you to the Grand Canyon, but there's the tail end of it. Let's see if we see anything out here. Back there in the haze. And I'm going to adjust my water here. So rendering options. This is a nice plugin, and if you look at the water right here, you can see it looks a little weird. This fixes it. Change the reflections. See how that changed that? And you can actually add waves. From this altitude, you can't really tell. It doesn't really do anything. But definitely improves the look of the water there. Nice looking ortho all throughout the southwest I have. Except for that one little square back there. Check our progress again. Yep, still 22:04. So about 40 minutes or so. 45 minutes we'll be on the ground. I'll let you look at the scenery go by here as we listen to some music. Alright guys, I just took a look out my backyard. I'm going to show you something here. So, like I said, I live in Southern California, so my backyard faces to the east. And so I'm basically looking out, way out over the mountains, over Palm Springs, way off in the distance from where I live. And I told you that there was there's a fire there, and it's building up. The smoke and the heat and everything is rising up, and it's causing some cumulus clouds to form. So I'm going to show you that. I took a quick picture with my camera. I've got it up over here. Let me see if I grab this one here. Hopefully you can see that. So there you go. This is the actual looking out towards the back. There's a lot of smoke. This is all smoke down here, down at the bottom. But up top, it's building up a really nice big Q cloud here, cumulonimbus cloud. So hopefully that will show up in real-world weather on X-Plane, because we're going to be pretty much flying right through this area, coming into Santa Ana, Orange County. So it looks like we are coming up to the Colorado River here. Let's jump into the cockpit really quick to see where we're at. Yeah, coming up to Blythe here, right up ahead, and that is the separator between Arizona and California. So the Colorado River separates Arizona to this side and California up ahead. Like I said, there's a few clouds popping up in the desert, I think. Just looking up at the radar, nothing big here. We'll see if we run into that nice big one that's popping up just to the west of Palm Springs, I guess, due to that fire. Already see the Salton Sea up over here. Now, Palm Springs is basically, see this little peak right here? I think this one. This is Mount San Jacinto, and Palm Springs is right at the base of it over on here. And the fire is burning off on the other side of this little area of mountains here. And so we are going to go fly pretty much right over it, I think. We'll see if it shows up, see if our weather updates, and we actually get some of this Q cloud. It's starting to look like it. Take a look at the radar here. See what we got. I'll bring this up just so you can see it is showing up on radar. So let me bring up my display again. Let me make this a little bigger, or that one a little bigger. This one, there we go. Make that a little bigger. There we go. All right. So here's the Salton Sea. So this is what I was pointing out, that we can see right out our window over there. Here's Palm Springs, and here is that cloud that I just showed you. Here's the mountain. Excuse me, here's the mountain. This is Mount San Jacinto right here. And the fire, I think, is burning over here somewhere. So from my house, I'm not going to point it out, but from my house someplace in Southern California, I can actually see this building up here. And that's pretty much where we're going to be flying. Our course takes us right through there. So again, there's Palm Springs right there. And they're even showing lightning distant northwest. So they're able to see, I think, this one here. And anything else that's popping up here. This is a nice one right here. And actually, Idlewild, that's kind of where that fire is burning. From the newscasts. Right through this area. So it's the other side of San Jacinto, right the other side here. Probably out in this area. And it's causing all this stuff to build up. So that should be pretty interesting. Let's go take a look outside the window. Hop in here. So there's a Salton Sea, like I said. There's the mountain range right there. Actually, I think it's this one here. That's the Banning Pass right there. So this one, and on the other side of that is where that buildup is. Hopefully it updates. Let's see. Let's try to force it to update. Let's go over here. Flight condition. We gotta check our fuel anyway. Let's customize our weather. Let's try to update it 11 minutes ago. Let's refresh it just to make sure. See if anything changes. Not much. Alright, so we'll accept that and apply that. Might see the clouds refresh here. There they go. Just start building back in. We'll see. Sometimes you can't see that stuff building up until you get closer to it. And like I said, let's jump in here. Let's take a look at our fuel. Oh yeah, we got plenty of fuel. We're good. Got over 12,500-ish pounds. And we're almost into, like I said, we're almost into the Palm Springs area here. And we're coming up to our top of descent, not too far after we pass that, about 40 miles out. So let's go ahead and take a look at our descent here. Right, so here's our top of descent. Palm Springs just coming into view right here. So we're actually going to start coming in, or start our descent just before it. And this is thermal. Now it's actually called Jacqueline Cochran Airport. It used to be called thermal, which is why the identifier is TRM. You learn to fly in real life in Southern California. I used to fly out here just for the heck of it. Palm Springs and thermal. Coachella Valley is right south of Palm Springs here, right in the thermal area. Anyway, altitude. So let's see here. We're going to be going down all the way. We'll step through these, and our final altitude, since we're not using anything, there's our runway. So our final altitude is 1,420 feet. So that's what we're going to set. Back up here. 1,420 feet. So we're going to go ahead and just drop this all the way down. 1,400, we'll say 1,500 there. So thermal's coming up ahead over here, and Palm Springs in the haze here. It's definitely hazy. So if we look at that picture, there's a lot of smoke all throughout that whole area, it looks like. And there's the Salton Sea. And the Salton Sea is pretty interesting because over on this south end right over here, there's actually a little lava, well, I won't call it lava, it's volcanic mud sort of thingies, you know. They're not actually volcanoes or anything like that. But all these little areas right here, there's actually like whatever you want to call it, volcanic activity. So there's mud, hot mud that pops up all throughout a lot of places in Southern California, but generally right through this area also. And if you follow earthquakes at all, there's always earthquakes down here, which is kind of interesting. There's actually a geothermal power generation plants throughout here. That's what this stuff is right here. And they actually drill down into the magma or close to it, and then heat up water, steam comes back up, runs generators, that kind of thing. And then, yeah, I was going to talk about the Salton Sea. It was interesting, I guess, way back when. I don't know when, but, you know, a little while back, or quite a while back, you know, like 100 years or something like that. Maybe not quite that far back, but I guess there was a flood. This is before they had the Hoover Dam, which was built in like the 20s or something, right? And so the area would flood over here. And I guess it flooded out one time and actually created this Salton Sea that they call now. And now it's fed just by, you know, rainwater through the valley here. And it's an interesting history if you look at it. There's a lot of little spots. There's like a place over here called Bombay Beach, and different places where back in the I guess 40s and 50s, whenever they thought this was going to be like another desert oasis, right? But what happened was that it didn't have a constant supply of water, and so the water started getting kind of tainted and nasty, and the fish started dying, and it just started to stink and smell and everything else. And all these people had kind of bought into the developers along in this area and bought plots of land and stuff like that, and you know, thinking they were going to make it rich, you know, because the place was going to be like another, you know, Las Vegas or something like that, and kind of all went bust. And so now, if you look up Salton Sea, Google it, you'll get some nice pictures of the remains of different little areas that they had initially built up along the coastline here. I mean, I guess people still go boating out here, but it's pretty it's not the nicest kind of place to go. Alright, enough history. But it's always fun. I love flying X-plane and flying around areas and learning what I'm looking at. So let's turn this music down ever so slightly here again. Alright, come back up here, and then here we go. So this is Palm Springs, right down here, all of this. And here is the mountain. You take a tram from Palm Springs up to the top of the mountain here. And our fire is burning someplace over here on the backside. You can see we're pretty much heading right for it. So let's see what happens there. See if we see anything. See if we see that that little build-up. We started our descent. So let's go ahead and put our strobes on. We'll put our engines over to continuous. Alright, so I'm going to take one more quick break here as we come across Palm Springs. I'll be right back. Have your last stop at the laboratory in the plane. Grab one of these stewardesses and grab a drink before we make our turn here. And head into Orange County, California. Be right back. guys, I'm back. So I just took a quick look outside, and yeah, those buildups right over here are nice and big. Unfortunately, I guess X-Plane's not picking them up. Let's try doing another forced update here on the weather. See if anything pops up. Like I said, there's Palm Springs right ahead of us. Here's the airport. Got the Banning Pass here. And this is all the wind turbine generator fields all throughout here. You can actually see them when we get a little bit closer. We're going to take a look, and you can actually see the shadows of them. They cooked up on the ortho. Turn the music down there just a tad. In fact, otherwise, looks like a clear day from here. You can see the ocean, Los Angeles in the haze back there, Orange County out over here. San Diego down off our left wing. Take a little closer look here at Palm Springs. I always like to point out, when I learned to fly in Southern California, I used to fly to Palm Springs, and over here, I believe it's this one, is Atlantic Aviation. I think it's this one. And they actually have a swimming pool. So you can fly in, stop at the FBO, Atlantic Aviation, and grab a burger or whatever, and take a dip in the pool. We're gonna see some clouds off our wing there. Let's take a look. Nope, nothing. Yeah, pretty much right through here is where that fire is burning. Down at the bottom here, someplace out through this area. I'm off in that direction. So when I look out my window, or my backyard at least, I can see way off in the distance. I could just see the top of this mountain on a clear day. I wonder if I should get rid of Kiefer here. Kiefer always drives me crazy. They make this weird turn here. Let's do that. I'm gonna get rid of Kiefer. We don't need Kiefer, we're just gonna go directly to whatever else is above it. So Sager. We'll go Sager there. Execute that. There we go. Gives us a little bit more of a direct route right over Riverside County. Which is kind of, when you fly into Orange County, that's sort of the way they fly. Inbounds usually come out this way and just pick up the, I'm sure they get vectored in, but they come out over here towards Riverside, Ontario, and connect up to the final approach coast. They almost never come in the way we do like that, making that turn. Usually those are departures coming out this way. You know, eastbound departures heading for wherever. So yeah, if you take a look at the news, maybe I'll bring it up. What the heck? I'll bring it up here and show you what's going on here in Southern California. There we go. I'll go ahead and just share my screen right here, my other screen. There we go. No, I don't want to do that. So yeah, there's a little fire updated 2 minutes ago. So if you go to, let me bring that down a little bit, KTLA.com. That's the Los Angeles news channel. And you can see here that we've got mandatory evacuations for Idlewild as rapidly spreading brush fire burns. So let's get rid of that. And that's kind of, let me see here, that's sort of what we're looking at, right? This area here. It's kind of flying right over it. Alright, and let's go ahead and let me grab my altimeter setting off of real world here. For Santa Ana, let's look at the observation here. It is winds 200 at 12, perfect, right down the runway. 9 miles visibility, fuel 5,500, view 12,000, scattered, is it 30,000? Wow. Anyway, wind altimeter 2992. CB, that's cumulonimbus, that's a thunderstorm. Distant east. TCU, which is towering cumulo clouds, distant northeast through east. So they're seeing the clouds that I'm seeing that we should be flying through right now. Anyway, we'll go over here and go to, we could stay on standard, I guess, but yeah, 2992 is the altimeter setting, so let's go ahead and set that. 2992, there we go. So we'll do that for the co-pilot side also. I'm gonna get rid of the yoke so I can see it down here. 2992. Look over at San Bernardino Mountains there, and yeah, this is where that fire is, I guess, someplace around here. Matter of fact, let's jump out of the airplane, take a look around here just a little bit. So, yeah, Idlewild, someplace out here. Yeah, something around here. This is burning, and they're dropping those retardant. They got aircraft dropping stuff all over here, protecting some of the homes and stuff along the ridge line there. So we've got March Air Reserve Base coming up right here. They have a few different air wings stationed here, different kind. I think there's a refueling, a KC, or no, sorry, I'm showing my age. No KC 135s anymore. They've got, I think they have refuelers. I'm not sure. I know for sure they have a C-17s, so they have a air mobility wing here, reserve wing. I'd really love to find a good C-17 model for X-Plane 11. There's one that was for X-Plane 10 and it kind of ported over. It wasn't the greatest. Didn't work quite right. I'd like to see one to the level of like the Zibo or one of the payware aircraft. I'd pay for one. That would be fun. One time in real life I was flying from San Diego to, I don't know, someplace north of LA. I flew over this area and I remember looking down and they were having an air show. And they have an air show here every once in a while. And at the time that I was flying over, it was just before the air show, so you could see a lot of the different airplanes on the tarmac. And one of the planes they had there was a SR-71 spy plane. It was pretty cool. You can't miss the silhouette of that thing sitting on a ramp. Looks like right now we've got one plane over there. Oh, there we go. They're popping into view now. Alright. Well, we're about 20 miles out from our 25 miles out from our intercept on our final here, so we kind of head right towards what is this? This is Yorba Linda, Anaheim Hills, back behind here, Corona up ahead, and yeah, this is Corona right here. And then you got Yorba Linda, and then Anaheim Hills, and then Anaheim heading that way. So we're going to kind of head down this way, capture our final approach, and head into John Wayne, which is out here someplace, right by the coast over in Newport Beach. So we're descending down. Let's go ahead and we'll put that to full. We'll go braking 2. Start getting set up here. No messages on the FMC. That's good. So our dropping out keeper here, which would have taken us a little jog out this way and then that way, which is really weird. Like I said, it kind of takes us out right around this peak and comes back and then joins. So I never see planes doing that. Or maybe I'm just, I don't know, maybe I'm hosed, but no, I never see real world planes doing that. They don't. They always come out this way. They come out towards the pass right here over Corona and then join up, kind of like what we're doing here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Southwest does not have a real flight into Flagstaff, but I was hoping to catch some of that weather out there. If you look at my other flights, it's always sunny and beautiful in Southern California here where I am, and so if there's anything weather-wise to fly through, I want to go fly through it. Alright, heading for Sager. 3,500. Make sure we got our seatbelt signs on. It's called a flight attendant. Why not? I wonder if she actually opens the door. Nope. We'll leave it closed for now. Alright, while I'm looking at this, let me take a look at our approach. I haven't even done that. What are we doing? RNAV 20 right. RNAV a Yankee. So our final descent into... I'll bring this up so you guys can see it too. Alright, so I'm looking at the approach, I'm looking at the RNAV, and what I'm looking at, you can see, we're going to Sager, and then pretty much right inbound. So, we are cleared down to 255 feet. Decision height. Oh, LNAV, VNAV. Nope, sorry, 512 feet. Because this one here, LPV, not sure what that means, but I'm assuming that's a different approach. We're doing our LNAV, VNAV, decision height 500 feet, so I'm going to change that to 500 feet on our descent. And we'll get rid of that. Come over here and go to 500. We'll be making our turn here. This is Corona. The 91 freeway right here. Goes through the pass here. Anaheim Hills, Yorba Linda, all over here. Anaheim off in the distance. That away. Right over there. You can go over here and go to Disneyland. I think I can see a light. Maybe that's our airport. Not sure which one it is. One of those two. Take a closer look. Yep, that one. Right there. That's Orange County right over there. Or John Wayne, you know, Orange County Airport. Alright, we're getting ready for our turn here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn up the sim a little bit. turn down the music. I guess it's pretty good. Alright, we'll leave it as is. Alright, here's our turn over, well, I guess you can technically call this Chino Hills. Chino is off our right side there, and then it's Chino Hills, this area right here. Alright, let's make sure we don't need drag. Looks like we're good on our speed. We'll go ahead and start adding some flaps here. We'll go to our first notch of flaps. Start getting slowed up. Get our second notch of flaps in. Alright, let's go ahead and hit our landing lights on. Alright, engines are continuous. We got our other lighting is good. And we've got our glide path coming in here, and the localizer. So I'm going to go ahead and kill the music for right now. Go to 5 on the flaps. We'll bring the spoilers out and get ourselves slowed up. And we got our approach markers in, so I'm going to go ahead and hit approach. And you can see our diamonds coming in. That's our glide path. We'll capture that in a second.
2,500.
Yeah, that haze is definitely starting to show up over here. A little layer of clouds coming up. Keep ourselves slowing up here. And we've got our approach set. I even think we have 110.9.
2,500.
Alright, so we're captured. We're not on the localizer, we are doing the RNAV. There we go. So the FMC right here has captured both our glide path and our localizer heading here. Still got a lot of, got the spoilers all the way up, trying to get slowed up here. We're going to go ahead and do one more notch of flaps. Get ourselves really slowed up. Get a little bit more drag out. Coming in over Anaheim here. Disneyland someplace off our right-hand side there. Alright, we're at 6.6 miles right here. We'll wait for about 6. Actually, we're a little bit fast right now, so I'm going to go ahead and drop the gear right now. Get a lot of drag out there. Go to 15 on the flaps. Alright, just coming up over the 55 freeway here. That's what you see right ahead of us here. Airport's in the haze there. And that's got us slowed up. We're looking for 145. Still got the spoilers up. We'll go 30 flaps. And since Santa Ana is a little bit of a shorter runway, we will go 40 flaps. Alright, bring the spoilers down. Let's see if our speed holds. Looking good. Alright, we'll arm the spoilers. We got a key that does that. And then we get that light indicator here. Spoilers are armed. We're good down to 500 feet. I'm actually going to bump it down a little bit more. I'm going to bring it down to 200. We are pretty much visual here anyway.
1,000.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
And I got our approach lights. Hazy day today in the OC. I'll bring our speed down just a little bit more.
Approaching 20, right.
Go to 136 here. We're pretty light, only 10,000 pounds of fuel on board. Now there's 500. Alright, winds are pretty much right down the runway as forecasted. Alright, we're going to go ahead and disengage the autopilot.
300.
And we'll also disengage the throttle. Airplane is mine.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Long landing, 4,000 feet remaining, 3,000
There, we'll get the
remaining.
thrust reversers engaged. Drop the nose down gently.
80 knots.
And we'll go to manual braking. There's 70. Thrust reverser stowed. As my sim catches up to us a little bit here. We'll get the flaps up and spoilers down. Alright, welcome to John Wayne, Orange County Airport, California. Get our landing light off. And taxi light on. Get our strobes off. We'll taxi over to the gate and then do a quick replay of that landing. That was pretty straightforward. A little bit long there. I think I carried a little bit too much speed there.
02, right.
Alright, let's get the music back on. So if you like that, go ahead, hit the thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I've got tons of X-Plane 11 content that I do. Try to do at least a video a week or so, but I can't guarantee that. Maybe sometimes a little bit more. It just depends on my schedule, but always got fresh content, usually flying around the Southwest United States, along with a few different spots that pique my interest. And not just in the airliners, I also do a lot of GA. Since I'm a private pilot myself, I like having some GA time in the X-Plane 11 here sim. Well, looks like we are well represented here with our Southwest livery. See if we can find a gate. Looks like we got one right over here. We'll take that spot. Those carts will get out of our way. Turning time. Let's see here. Get ourselves slowed up a little bit here. Get our APU on, forgot to do that, but we have ground power here in a minute. Oh my goodness. Alright, we're gonna call it, we'll call it right there. Perfect. Working brake on, and let's go ahead and do a replay of that landing. Let's see, we'll back up to here. Which view do we want to do? Let's go out this side. I like that one. Yeah, I never do this one. Let's look at this one. Going up a little bit farther. Alright guys, well, like I said, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I hope you enjoyed the flight. Pretty straightforward flight from Arizona, a little bit different coming out of Flagstaff there. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care guys.